more than just a game. It's strategy, obsession. Every waiver wire, every trade deadline, every victory. This is the Around the OrkneyBowl podcast.
Hi there, and welcome to Around the OrkneyBowl. For a special edition today, I'm with Mike, who's the creator and mastermind of Dynasty Locker Room, which I've really enjoyed and working his way through. How's it going, Mike?
It's going great. Happy to be here.
Or do you prefer Michael?
Either one, doesn't matter.
Yeah, grand. So obviously, I've been trying to get as many people as I can on this site because as I've been working with you, I've been building it, and obviously you've been doing all the hard work, and I've just been telling you, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do this? And it's an awesome site, and obviously this is just a way for people to get to see it a bit more, and you can explain all the features and that they can do.
Yeah,
that sort of thing. Does that sound good?
Well, you've been a fantastic partner because a lot of the features I try and build, I need somebody to test them out, and so you've been really good at testing the various things and giving me feedback and things that I haven't even thought of. So it's been a fun journey.
Well, that's because obviously I've been playing fantasy for a while, and it's nice to see the things that you like getting done.
Yeah.
So obviously we'll get a different screen here. Try that one. There we go. I don't have to be in the picture. So obviously this is my home page. So you can talk us through what you want to talk about, and
yeah. Well, I'll start with the very beginning. So the origin of the Dynasty Locker Room started with the tournament that I run, which is Battle of the Sexes. And I was at a work conference, and there was all this talk about how have you vibe coded with AI lately? And I went home that night and within 3 hours built a web page for my website. And then following that, I was like, well, what else can I do with AI? And I run a salary cap league that has an auction with it. And we had been doing the auction just through like sleeper DMs, because the sleeper auction, it doesn't give you as many features as you want. And as everybody knows, MyFantasy doesn't have the greatest interface and whatnot. So I went and built my own auction site. And so then after I built the auction, I was like, well, let's just keep expanding it. And I had somebody reach out to me about this concept. And I took it and ran with it. And so what it allows you to do, which I think is really cool, and other people do very similar things. So that's why I tried to create some additional features to separate it. But it allows you to link all of your leagues across MyFantasyLeague, Sleeper, and Yahoo. And so for me, I have leagues going back 20-some years because of Yahoo. And the challenging thing, and why I haven't integrated more, is in order to connect to the various platforms' data, you have to do it through these back-end APIs, and which are sometimes challenging. So what's really cool about this, again, is the concept is you're building your locker. And after you build your locker, you can add people to your locker room or your hallway. And it shows the distinction between Sleeper, MyFantasyLeague, whether they're keeper leagues, dynasty leagues, redraft leagues. You have a section where you can look at all your archive leagues. You can create groups, and then it shows all of your history. So when you open up one of your cards, it tells you all of the history within. So if you want to open up, it shows what your history has been for all your various leagues. If you scroll down, you've got career standings, best seasons, biggest blowouts across all years, which I think is really kind of fun. So it kind of talks about, how have you done historically? What are some of the really cool things? And trying to mimic some of the things that you can find within Sleeper, but adding on to it. And so it also will kind of keep track of your transactions, your matchups. When you click into your matchups, you can see, the actual scores of the games, which is kind of fun. So it breaks out the scores, it breaks out the positions, trying to mimic as best as possible what you would experience in a different platform. So while you can't manage your, so keeps transactions. Analytics is kind of cool. So if you go into the analytics tab, um,
That is cool.
yeah, you've got power rankings, and one of the things that I really find is interesting is the luck index. So every time you always talk about, oh, I should have had a couple more wins or whatever, or whatever the case may be. This actually quantifies for you how many wins you got that you were lucky on, and how many wins you probably could have had if it went the other way. So and then there's also a trade map, which kind of shows who you often trade with, which is kind of fun. And then a draft recap, which kind of tells you about how the players that you drafted, which ones were busts, which ones were, booms, as you may, based on where they were drafted and how they finished. So there's a lot of really cool features outside of simply just managing your team. So it's nice to have it all in one place. It is also really cool to manage when you have a best ball league where you're not really trying to manage your team anyway. And so it's trying to, like I said, add a bunch of features that you normally would have. And then what I really like is the live draft ticker. So up in that corner there, whenever you have drafts going on, it tells you where the draft is at and how many picks away you are to your next pick, how many upcoming drafts you have. And so it's all in one place, just kind of like flashing at you, which is kind of fun. So
you can click on it as well, so you can go to
exactly. It takes you right to the draft, shows you and it doesn't take up the whole screen, which is really nice. It just brings up the league and being able to kind of show you where you're at. And then it's got rosters, players.
Up to date as well.
Yeah, the only thing it doesn't let you have is being able to actually manage your team, which I would love if there was a way to do that, but but then the other really cool feature that we built and what we've been working a lot on are the tournaments piece. So not only can we run an auction within the site that is separate, and when you run an auction, you can it actually links the salary information to the players, so it manages it, but we can keep track of tournaments here. And what's really cool about this is I've set it up so that it handles pretty much any type of playoff structure, and that's really what I built it off of. Is depending on what your playoff structure is, whether it's total points, whether there's points rounds similar to what we do with Scott Fishbowl, whether there's a head-to-head bracket, or I've created a decathlon in the past where you've got several different leagues that combine together. So if you look at the playoffs tab, you can see that it shows the combined standings, and then if you do by league, it'll show you how each team finishes by league and how many points you earned if you set it up versus total points across the leagues. So I've really tried to customize it, and one of the cool leagues that I worked with you on was the World Cup style, which I think is kind of a fun idea as well, where it basically takes away sleeper divisions in its entirety, where you can actually put anybody in the leagues and then you reorganize them into their own different groups of any size. And so what's fun about that is then we've set it up so that it's like if you click on 2025, then you can see what the history looks like. But it then shows all the matchups for all of the like a round robin style.
And all the scores.
All the scores. And then if you click on the playoffs, it creates the World Cup bracket and progresses them through. So this was a really fun one because what it basically showed is that we can create any playoff that and without any structure to any fantasy platform, but simply using the fantasy platform to do the scoring for us.
Oh, it's awesome the way it came out, and actually it proved that I made mistakes in 23 and 24 and had the wrong winner.
Yeah.
So I had to send in a prize, but no, because it works
and then
all
the other kind of like,
matchups. When there's a tie, it works it all out for you. So
yeah, exactly. And what was fun, well, I guess not fun, was when you realize that you accidentally did something incorrectly, and it catches it for you. But some of the other features we've got are like you build your trophy room. at the top, and so it
Yeah.
keeps track of all of the trophies you've ever won, your win rate. Because one of the features that I always see at the end of the year is what was my record for the year and broken out by platform. Everybody loves to share that. Well, now you can actually
Oh, yeah.
visualize it, and eventually we're going to have the ability to create your own championship trophies, which is kind of fun. And then if you go into the the career stats there. So we've got it out, broken out by year, by type, by platform, and it can really just kind of show you how you do across different types of fantasy leagues, as well as how you do on Yahoo leagues, how you do on sleeper leagues, etc. And then the reason why it was the Dynasty Locker Room is the hallway. And I'm going to be doing some more features, but when you have that, you can pull up a player and it will show you your head to head in the leagues that you have with them, and then
I'm going to go for one where I've got a better record. There you go. So it's got all the history when you play each other when it comes up.
Yeah, so there you go. So you can see that with this person, you're 42-16 head to head in the various leagues, which I think is kind of fun. And then eventually, we're also going to be adding smack talk. So you'll be able to leave a smack talk to your opponents, and it'll show up in their on their page, which I think is kind of fun.
Oh,
so
that'd be awesome.
That's the whole idea of the locker room is you build your own locker, and then you can share it with other people, and kind of create a social aspect to fantasy, not just having a way of collecting all of your stats.
Oh, you're beating me 2-1.
You're beating me. Wait, no, yeah, I'm beating you.
No,
sorry, I was
beating
thinking
me,
about
yeah.
it from the other way around. Yeah, I'm beating you 2-1.
No, it's quite cool. I like, because obviously when you can search for usernames, and then what you do is you just hit the little pin
Yep.
here, and it pins it, and then it pops up right away, so you don't have to search them. You can pin as many as you want.
Exactly.
As you can see, I've got quite a few people on it. Like Doug here, he's been absolutely hammering me since we've been asleep, but it's like it'll pop up in a minute, but it's not pretty reading. I beat him in the family did, but 40 to 56 is beating me. So
yeah,
some are better, but it's great. Like it's good. It's a good laugh.
Yeah, I mean, there's a number of people who do very similar things, and I was trying to come at this with a different perspective, but really, I think what sets this apart versus some of those other ones is the ability to host tournaments. And given that I run a charity tournament, you run a charity tournament, and then there's several others that I've scored for in the past, like the JTT Cup, who is awesome, as well as Murph, who runs his tournament, the 5-yard rush. I wanted a place.
That would be a challenge. That would be a challenge.
I'll tell you. I mean, that's why I set this up, is to be able to deal with those challenges. But it's to make it easier for registration, for collection of data. I've added features where you can keep track of the money you've raised, and who's donated. Keeping track of, for mine specifically, the number of men and women that are playing within the divisions. So there's a lot of really cool little features that I've added that mainly to help myself out, but then things that can also be leveraged for other people as well.
Yeah, I noticed on your one, because I got a like to join the division, which is quite cool. So if I can get everybody signed up to my one, I can do that next year, hopefully. But
I thought that was
smart,
a really cool idea and concept, is to set up the divisions and allow people to do that. The problem, one thing that I'm trying to reconcile a little bit, is I'm trying to make it so that people don't have to register the site, but then that creates some challenges with linking emails and stuff. So I'm still dealing with a few little bugs, but overall, I think it's a really cool thing, because people like to choose who they play against, and trying to make it as simple as I can for them.
Yeah, that's good. Like I said, there has been a few issues with registering for the Orkney Charity Bowl, but I think what is, people have noticed that if they log out and then go on the link, they can join, but they can't seem to join while they're logged in.
It's weird how it's been working, and issues that pop up that you don't really think they should be. And I'll tell you, it's definitely a learning experience, because and it really makes you I would say, have more appreciation for the work that people have done in setting up some of these sites, because there's so many little things to think about, and so many little nuances. But I've really tried to think about over the past couple of years, especially with Sleeper, all the issues that people have had with them and things that they want to add and features they want to add, and trying to incorporate those in. And tournaments and setting up your own groups is one of the big things that people have had and wanted them to add. And so I'm really excited to be able to kind of create some of this stuff.
You said about being able to keep track of how much you've raised. Where would you find that, or have you not done that bit yet?
So it's if you go into the admin section, there's a way to
Because I use
to
Just
add how
Giving,
much people have donated. Yeah. So if
but
you go
only I
into the
would see that.
manage, yeah, if you go into the manage section, and then you go to the admin selection. So there's a tab right next to the divisions, which is donations.
What is it?
So
I've not done it.
registrants, participants, divisions, donations.
Oh yeah.
And so what that basically allows you to do is, as people donate for you, you can add how much they've donated, and you can also set a default. So at the very top, right now it's set up that every donation is custom. But if you say you set up that everybody needs to donate $25, you can set the default so you don't have to add 25 every single time. And then it allows you to keep track of people who have donated versus those who haven't. So it's just a way of trying to capture that, and then you can export it as well.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. The only problem is in Just Giving, I've got about 7 people that have donated anonymously.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've no idea who they are.
That makes it a little bit difficult trying to match it up. But this, this is, it's more so like for record keeping purposes.
Well, that is very smart. It'd be quite handy for. Yeah, it's good. If I can get everybody in the OrkneyBowl, it'd be quite handy for chasing up their payments for that too, because I have to go through TeamStake all the time. That's a bit of a pain in the butt. But yeah,
trying to raise money and capture donations is definitely a pain in the butt. So what I was trying to do really is make it just easier for everybody, and just make it so that as a tournament admin, you shouldn't be trying to spend more time getting people registered, getting people donated, and then also like using Google Forms and Google Sheets to record all your results can sometimes be not the most efficient. And so this is, a way to keep all of that together. And then the other cool thing is the player records, and so like over history, you can see how you've done in the tournament. How many playoffs have you won, or how many playoffs have you made? What's your winning percentage and stuff. And, it keeps track of as well the overall champions once they've been identified. So, there's a lot of really cool stuff that this allows you to do.
Yeah, I have noticed like there's been some where they don't quite match up. It's when people change their username.
Yeah, unfortunately,
there's not much you can do about that one. And
yeah,
sometimes like in the OrkneyBowl, they change their team names all the time, but it should connect with the Sleeper username. But no, it's a great feature. Like, and let's see, I've got this one here. This is like it's like a playoff spot for the teams that are not in the main division in the OrkneyBowl, and it's quite smart because it's just a high scoring team. And then when it comes to the playoffs, where's the playoffs? That's 2025. That should be done already. There it is. That's players.
We'll have to check to see.
Check it. It's popped up before.
Yeah.
I've maybe not published it actually. That's why it's not showing up. I keep on forgetting to publish it. So if I find it in the managed one, I'll see it. But if I don't,
yeah,
there it is. I haven't published it. That's why for the Rousey Cup, but the other one. But yeah, no, it's a great one. I just have to remember if I'm going to have it open to publish it. But then I take it when the scores come through, as they come through, they'll get updated automatically.
Correct. Yes, that's the goal of it.
Just like on Sleeper sort of
Yep.
thing.
Yep. Yeah, that's
Cool.
that's the plan. Is that when you open up the league and the division and the matchups, it should automatically update. Now, I'm doing this in the off season, so I'm sure there's going to be some learnings that happen as the leagues go on during the season. But I'm liking where we're at right now, and there's not as much development, which is nice at this point. So I'm really able to kind of help get things set up. And that's also why I set up that contact email. I've set up the Twitter page so that if anybody ever has any questions, they can always reach out. And if there's any features that people want to see, like I'm always excited to add new features to make this better. And trying to make it easier for people to be able to just like help with their team. Oh, and then check out the My Players tab. I think that's also a really cool thing. So the My Players loads of, all the players that you have across all of your different leagues, shows you which leagues you have them in, who you're most exposed to, and then available gems shows you who are players that you don't have it on any of your teams. And maybe people that you can target.
But, yeah.
So it breaks it apart, so you can see you have 45 different QBs, 78 different running backs, 109 different wide receivers, and then it shows for each player what their stats are and everything, which is kind of cool. So you have 205 players that are across multiple leagues, which is interesting.
Yeah, I like to spread it about a bit. I'm quite a lot of leagues, so. If you get stuck with the same team all the time, you'll end up losing all the time or winning all the time.
I know. I was looking at mine, and it was I think one of my higher people is Gunnar Helm, of all people. So
I like Gunnar Helm. I had him a lot last year, but yeah, I'm taking a gamble on Adam Random a lot, as you notice in the rookie drafts.
Yeah, the person that
Henry gets injured.
Well, as a Browns fan, this shouldn't be a surprise for me, but the person I am now currently most exposed to is Talon Green, I think I
picked him up on one
quarterback.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been fun building this out, and especially working with you, trying to add new features and fixing helping to debug some of the different things as well.
Oh no, it's great. I've been trying to share it around the people. Oh, this isn't working, so I'll let you know. And obviously, if you just want to do a fast refresh, you can hit that button there.
Yep.
Or a full.
Now the ones so Sleeper works really easily. I will say the ones that I've had a little bit of trouble with sometimes are the MyFantasyLeague and Yahoo, mainly because they don't like to have you hit their data a lot. So when I've tried to connect, for example, the Scott Fish Bowl and some of those the Eliminator leagues, they have so many leagues that trying to hit them all at once kind of conks out. And so what I've had to build in is that when you go into those leagues, you can update and refresh them one at a time. And sometimes you have to wait a little bit for it to reset to some extent. So that's something I'm trying to kind of work around. But overall, I'm really happy with this. And Sleeper, and most people are trying to get on Sleeper. And again, one of the reasons why I built the auction tool is there are some features that MyFantasyLeague has that Sleeper does not. And so in order to help to get people to transition over to Sleeper, I'm trying to build some of the features that they might be missing and help them out to make that transition.
You see, but we're talking about you can do the salary cap on here as well. Is that right?
Yeah. So I have a league that basically has every player has a salary, and you can set up your taxi. You can set up discounts for taxi and for IR spots, and it keeps track of all of your salary information. And that makes it really easy, because then what I've done is connect it to Sleeper so that as you add people through FOB, it will translate FOB to salary dollars, and then basically keep track of what your salary is automatically, which is kind of cool.
Right, because I know a couple of boys in the OrkneyBowl, they've set one up, so I was telling Luke about this. So I'll definitely make sure I clip this bit and send it to him, and he can get in But he's
Yeah,
Putin
I'll
ruler, so
have to demo.
he
I'll
has
have to demo
registered
that for
here.
you sometime, because
Uh-huh.
that's a really cool feature that again I built because I didn't really care for my fantasy league, and some people want to be able to run
Oh, I don't
leagues
like
in
my fantasy
sleeper,
league.
but to still be able to have salary caps. So this was a way of me building something that can support that.
Oh, and if it works all out as well, all they've got to do is come on here once they've done it, and it'll tell them what budget they've got and all that. You don't have to
Yeah,
be updated on a spreadsheet all the time, because it'll
exactly,
basically
and,
turn
and
up
that's what I
in the
was
space of
doing.
seconds. It'll come on.
I was updating things in Excel, and I had to constantly try and keep track of things, and it was very frustrating. So it's a lot easier now.
Yeah, well, I'll do that with about leagues in OrkneyBowl, because I'm manually inputting the scores on Excel. Sometimes you make a mistake, and
Yeah,
because I've got
exactly.
defenders, the scores sometimes change on a Thursday because like there's been an extra tackle and all that stuff. So then you have to redo the scores again. Then you've got a link to a different spreadsheet for one cup competition and a different
Yep.
spreadsheet for another competition. Whereas here, I don't have to do anything. Once it's all set up, you've done all the hard
It's
work for me.
fantastic for people who manage multiple leagues and tournaments like yourself, where you don't have to have several sheets open, and it can be cumbersome to update and keep track of all the different leagues. Whereas here, it does it for you, and it's all in one place, which is really helpful. As well as
You
like
should.
you can send people links to the tournament and the results, and they can go directly to there. And it's one of the reasons why I tried to make the tournaments a public site as well, so that people could still experience it without having to register for the site.
Yeah, because you can follow the link and then you can just view them, can't you? You don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to register. I'm pretty sure you can just view it. I was looking at, because I've joined the Rainbow Bowl again this year. You do that one with Steve. Because
Yeah.
give a shout out to him. It might be good on here for him for this one. Get him on, because he's got multiple leagues all over, and they all end up in different playoffs and all that once the playoffs start. So you should maybe give him a shout and try and get him on here too.
Yeah,
But I notice
definitely.
you've
I mean,
got.
I'd love to bring everybody on, and I'm happy to help get people set up. Somebody who just added a tournament, which I'm really excited about, is I think the Firefighter Championship, which is another tournament that was added recently. Yeah,
Is there?
where is it?
Oh, the Toys for Tots.
Oh, it's not showing up on yours for some reason. It. Oh, you know what? It might. It's because it's probably just in draft. It's the Firefighter Charity Fantasy Football Championship was just added, and I can see it because I'm the one of the admins for it. So
Cool.
cool. Well, I really
I did
enjoyed.
Toys for Tot last year. So.
Yeah, yeah. And Deej is a good friend. He is in St. Louis as well, and I actually did a live draft with him once for Scott Fish.
Yeah,
Well,
they've not
I'd
got
love
last
to
year's
stay in
stats, and
chat,
I'm
but
pretty sure they
I got
didn't
to
get last
run
year.
to a meeting for work. So I'm
No
happy
bother.
to do
Thank
this
you for coming
again.
on.
Yeah, I'm very excited to come on, and thanks for having me. I really appreciate it, and meeting you for the first time is awesome as well.
Yeah, no, we can come on again sometime once we maybe get some more tournaments on and we can talk about them.
Yeah, I'd love to
But
do that, and as well as just talk football. I mean, my Browns just made a big trade yesterday, so yeah.
oh yeah, that was I was well shocked when I saw that one. Like, so are you happy with it, or?
It's never good to lose a stud, but at least they got a star player in return and not just
And
picks.
he's younger.
So he's younger. He's got several years on his contract. They've got I don't know how they were able to get a first, second, and a third out of the Rams. And the funny thing was, one of my buddies shared with me that apparently it was the Rams and the Browns that were trying to get the NFL to open up future picks for further out than 3 years. And so now it makes more sense. They were trying to add on picks for 24 or 4 and 5 years out. So
Oh, that
very
would have been
interesting.
mental, that. But yeah. But no, it's great to have you on, and well done with it. It was a good trade for both teams. I think it was a good trade, and
Yeah,
Joe Burrow will be happy. So, but yeah,
exactly.
anytime you want to come on, just give me a shout, and we can chat about this or just chat about football.
Sounds
Like I say,
good.
I'm off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday anyway, so I'm free anytime. So
Cool. Well, thank you
we'll
for
catch you
having
later.
me. Really appreciate it.
It was good to have you on. Thank you very
Talk
much.
to you later. Bye.
See you again.